It's Daniel from UK Foot Reviews, and I have a quick comparison between the 17 Plus Purecontrols and the Adidas Glitches. Now this is a very interesting purchase when you're thinking about choosing an Adidas product. You can either go for a customizable boot or a boot that has possibly been proven because more professionals wear it. So I'll go on to the Adidas 17 Plus Purecontrols first, and compared to the Glitches, what you're going to find is that these are a completely different feel in terms of sensation, purely because you don't have two skins involved. With the inner skin of the Glitches, you're going to find that it's a lot softer, and then the outer skin will reinforce it essentially, whereas that's complete opposite in terms of the Glitches, because the inner sole actually reinforces the outer. But that's definitely what it feels like when you're playing with them. Whereas the Adidas 17 Plus Purecontrols, you're going to find that they feel solid throughout, depending, because there's no two skins. So that's the big difference. And of course, with these, you can't customize them unless you want to put boot paint on them, which I don't necessarily recommend, purely because it's a little bit worrying, and plus you will not be able to return them if you wanted to do that. Whereas with the Glitches, you get the customizable ability throughout the whole range, and of course they're bringing out a lot more colors, and that is a big part of it. But in terms of the collar itself, it's generally made out of the same material. I feel as though this one is just a little bit more reinforced, and the upper themselves are completely different, as you can imagine. These are very similar to a leather pair of boots, whereas this type of leather is completely different. And of course, one big difference is the sole plate. Sole plates are very similar in terms of where they are, but one thing in particular is the fact that every stud is a conical stud with the Purecontrols, and with the Glitches you're going to find that they are a different pattern throughout the whole, well each stud. As you can see, there's a little bit of variation in terms of the circular pattern. It's trying to replicate a circular pattern, but there's certain imperfections which probably Adidas pointed out in terms of their design team and thought that this is probably the better option to go. And it of course brings a different aspect to a different sole plate. Now the big question is, which one would I go for? Now in terms of performance, what you're going to find is they don't perform very similar, but in terms of the standard that they perform fairly the same, to be honest, purely because they're similar. The shape of the upper is very similar. If you just compare the two, they are very similar, which probably provides a reason why they perform in terms of their standards probably about the same, to be honest. And what you're going to find with the Glitches, you're going to have that customizable ability throughout, I say, 1 to 2 years. I don't know how long they're going to keep the Glitches on for, but it's definitely a big question how long they're going to keep on producing the outer skins. It's not necessarily the inner skins your problem, because you always get the inner skin with the starter pack, so you can keep that one throughout the whole range. And with different outer skins, I would like to see a different sole plate. That would be really interesting. And of course, these come in SG and FG models, and you can also get the SG variant in the Purecontrols. But my money would go on the Glitches every time, just because of that customizability and a little bit more of a rarer boot. You always like to show off on the pitch, and with the outer skins coming up, it really brings an interesting future towards what these are going to bring. So that really brings me to the end of the video, guys. If you could like, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe. Alright, take care, guys.